Lord have mercy. Oh, this is Lord. Oh man, it's not working now. This sucks. What is up, everybody? Everybody. What is going on, you guys? Happy Wednesday, you guys. You guys, I'm about to put this down a little so I don't have to hear it on the background. I could probably hear it on the other side, but I'm all good. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's your girl here, Taina Doll, here in the Logic Room, y'all. Back again. Today is Wednesday, y'all. Welcome to everybody down here. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. And I'm on 3 different platforms as we speak. I am over here on my tablet, plus on my computer, and then I'm on TikTok on my phone. Ain't that something? So I hope everybody had an awesome Wednesday. Y'all got some conversation for me tonight because it's real out here with these people, okay? Hopefully everybody's having an awesome day. And hopefully everybody is blessed today, you guys. It is Wellness Wednesday, y'all. We're going to have a conversation, a real big conversation with these men, all right? It's not only the men, but the women too, okay, guys? Again, I am your host, Taina Doll, and I am glad to be back again with you guys today on this Wednesday, you guys. Welcome, everybody, to the Logic Room. And I am here live on my YouTube channel, TikTok, and my Facebook, I think. Yeah, no, I'm on my YouTube channel on both platforms. I'll just edit it later and send it off. But I wanted to thank everybody for supporting the Logic Room. We are continuously growing every single day now. I am constantly looking at things, constantly going on there. Please share the YouTube live, you guys. We are trying. Michael, he's so silly. Okay, so I wanted to go over some things. I wanted to do some shout outs. Shout out to my girl TT, always my girl. Thank you to Luke, who has always supported us, and also Ellie and Caroline. She is new. Miss Deborah, you are always supportive. Thank you for being here. And we are going to get into the birthday shout outs. The birthday shout outs, I don't know yet, but you guys drop the birthday shout outs on my DMs, okay, guys? Because I really want you guys to get some kind of, hellos from the Logic Room, okay? Y'all know my birthday is December the 27th, so I'm expecting for y'all to be on here because I'm going to be partying while we on the live, okay, guys? Also, we have started again the Christmas card exchange. So if you guys want me to drop a card for you guys in the mail, please drop your DM and your address. Is going to only me, and mine is going to only you. So it won't be distributed anywhere else. Y'all can trust me, y'all. Y'all can trust me. I've already gotten some already, so it's awesome. Also, please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 2K by February 1st because that is going to be the first giveaway for the Logic Room on YouTube. After December, listen to what I'm going to tell y'all. After December, there will be no longer TikTok lives for the Logic Room. I'm only going to go and make little video shorts here and there so you guys can see me and know that I'm still alive and beautiful and beautiful. Welcome in, everybody. Please tap the screen, share the live, tap the screen, share the live. Let's get to 5K right now. You guys, the other night we got to 10K, y'all. It was awesome. I'm so happy you guys were here to support, and you guys made it happen. We got to 10K, so I know y'all can get me to 10K on here. Let's go, y'all, okay? I know y'all on here. Y'all seeing me on my TikTok, so let's go, y'all, okay? Welcome in. Hey, Caroline, I'm going to let you up in a minute, all right? All right, so tonight's topic in the Logic Room is about mental health. You know why it's mental health? Because it's Wednesday and it's Wellness Wednesday. But at the same time, we are talking about men's mental health. So if you know anybody that has mental illness, y'all need to go ahead and share this live to them. So like that, they can know we talking about them, okay? Tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Continue to tap the screen. We are trying to get to 10K tonight. I want to do it. If we can push for 15K, that'll be great. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you to my husband who is on the live. Thank you so much. So we are going to be talking tonight about, on this Wellness Wednesday, we're going to be talking about men's mental health, okay? We honestly go in and we just think about it as something that a woman goes through. No, men go through mental illness as well. We're just not so prone to it because men don't like to talk about it. But I'm here to tell y'all, Taina Doll here to tell you guys that you should not be scared to talk about your mental health. Because I could just imagine if us going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, we are definitely having these men going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Because we know as women, we can put some headaches. I'm one of them. I'm sorry, honey, but I know it's true. Hey, Crystal, thank you, sweetie. Hey, he liked the live. Oh, you got some gonads. Let me tell you. like the live, y'all. Please share the live. Hey, Luke is my man says that men don't cry. I tell him that's that normal. Let me tell you guys, let's get to 10K, y'all. Let's go. I want to start talking about this subject because it needs to be talked about. We cannot just continue letting our men be stressed out, be all over the place, and we not taking consideration for them, okay? And I honestly say that, you know, when it comes down to men's mental health, it is a huge issue out here. So I'm going to need some men on the panel to come up and talk without being ashamed of anything because this is a safe space for you guys, okay? So we're going to have the women come up. We're going to have a few women. Then we're going to drop. Please limit it to 2 minutes because we have a lot of people that come up and I can't get them all in the hour and 45 minutes that we do take for the live. Let's have consideration for them as well, okay? All right, so let's get it. And also, please subscribe to the channel, you guys. YouTube channel, The Logic Room. Let's go. Please subscribe to The Logic Room on the channel because I need y'all to push the channel, okay? So let's go. We have Caroline. Hey, Carolina, what's going on?
Hi, how are you today?
Good. How are you? How you feeling today?
I'm good, just tired. I went to the doctor 2 days ago, and I got a hernia in my stomach, so.
Oh, man. Wow. Please share the live, you guys. Share the live. Tap the screen. I need the guys to come on the platform, please. My husband can't come on the platform because he really doesn't have any followers. So if you guys can follow my husband, his name on TikTok is Jessa's father, or father of Jessa. So he's on here as well right now. So I wanted to go and talk about, you know, men's mental health. Today is Wellness Wednesday and Wednesday, and I wanted to put some wisdom out because a lot of females feel that, or a lot of people feel in general that men don't have mental illness. And that's not true. It's inaccurate. Because if we have mental illness, and I feel like, this is my opinion, I feel like ever since the COVID thing happened, we've been seeing more and more and more of it. Okay. Not only with women, but also with men. And it is crazy that we could just sit here and say, okay, yeah, guys, they don't need to cry. They can take it because they're hard. They're hard. They're Superman. You know what I mean? But it's not true. I see a lot of men go through stressful situations. They get sick. They don't talk about it. And then they sit here and they're like in pain and they end up in the hospital because they're not talking about what they need to talk about. You know what I mean? And it's a sad situation, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. I have a lot to say about mental health because I have it. You know what I mean? I have PTSD. And for a man to have it, we know men have it, but men are so scared to come out and speak because they don't want to look like a, like a female, like a female dog. But that's not even the case. We cannot put that on them like that. Yes, they're men. Yes, they have a huge heart. And yes, they can take it, but we have to remember that they're also human. Okay. They're also human beings. If they need to cry, it doesn't say that they're a B, because let me tell you, my husband, and I'm going to say this, I'm very transparent. My husband at 6'5", okay, 292 pounds, my husband cries. Okay. I'm sorry, honey. I'm just putting you out there. I love you with all my heart. I can't wait to see you when you come home. But it's true. And if it's coming from a big 6'5" man at 292 pounds, believe me, I know. You know what I mean? And sometimes, a lot of the times I feel bad because, I'm a very demanding woman. And, then we have another little girl. And the little girl, she's demanding as well. Okay. So it's hard. It's hard for him. I know it is. He doesn't have to say it. Believe me, I'm trying. I am so much trying. Okay. Okay, Caroline, what you got to say about it? Since you're the males, I need the males on the platform, please. Today is mental health for men. So please, I would like for you guys to come up on the panel, speak on it, about how you feel and what it is. Why is it that you don't want to talk about it? Why do you feel like you can't talk about your mental health? Go ahead, Caroline.
I just feel like my man asked up. And he tells me, and he tells my boys, because we got two boys together. He tells my boys are not supposed to cry. They're supposed to be men. I'm like, babe, you could cry. Crying is all good. Ain't nobody gonna judge you. He's like, no, that is not okay. We're not supposed to have any feelings. I'm like, how are you not supposed to have feelings? Like, it's okay if you feel stressed. If I'm not saying it correctly, I do apologize.
Go ahead.
And he's just like, it's not okay. We're not supposed to do that, because when you're born in Mexico is machista.
Yes.
Machista. You cannot be feeling that type of. You're supposed to carry yourself as a strong man, as a man that doesn't have no problems. And I'm like, that is not correct, because one day you're gonna come out so sick.
Yep.
And be like, what is going on?
Yep. I mean, it's sad to say, and it's like I said, men are men. They need to de-stress just like a woman needs to de-stress. So you can't just cover yourself up and be like, okay, I'm not gonna have any feelings because I'm a man. I'm a man's man. I think the hardest men cry. I think the hardest men put themselves out there because let me tell you, it's hard out here. You know what I mean? You got females that feel like certain men, don't love them, and you got certain men out here that feel like they're not worthy or they're not worth it, or things like that, and they're not valued either. You know what I mean? So when you put it like that, and you have people that think that that's the way to go, it's not the way to go. It's just something that needs to be talked about, though. Because we have a lot of people, we have a lot of issues out here, and if we don't start taking care of these issues, if we don't start taking care of our men, what's going to happen is that some don't have the power or the strength to continue to move forward, and they end up doing something that they should never did. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna put in a real example. My husband, had this wife, his ex-wife, that, le puso los cuernos.
Uh-huh.
And she still got the courage to call the police on him because she wanted to get rid of him.
Wow.
Because she was with another man now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm mad. And he's like, when I express my feelings and I destroy my property, I got in trouble for destroying my own property, for cursing her out. I'm like, yeah, but that's the law. The law is going to tell you you can't destroy your property, but you can still go in the backyard and scream, let it out, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Just don't hurt anybody. He's like, I can't even do that because people are going to call the cops on me. I'm like, ain't nobody going to call the cops on you. And if you don't feel comfortable in the backyard, go downstairs in the basement. Scream, cry, yell. Do what you got to do, hon. Like, let yourself out. No, I can't do that because I'm a man. Yeah. I'm like, I can't get you. I can't get it through your head. I don't know what else to do.
It's so crazy and it's so sad. I hate to see a man cry, but they have feelings too, just like we do. You know what I mean? Thank you, Caroline, for your comment. Let's move down to Trini, which is Tampa Joe. What's going on, Tampa Joe? Welcome to the Logic Room.
What's up?
What's going on? Happy Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday for men. Let's go. We have the topic tonight with the men. We also have women because we as women I understand because I have mental health issues. And I understand that there is men out there that not willing to talk about it because they feel like, they're a female dog. I'm going to put it like that because I don't want to offend anybody. And also, guys are so hard. You know what I mean? And I understand completely that sometimes us women, and I'm saying me because I have done it and I've done it and I regret it, that I put my husband through hell. You know what I mean? But to say that is me taking accountability for my actions. You know what I mean? So when you put it like that, you have women that have consideration for their husbands or their significant others. You know what I mean? You can't just say all women don't understand men because that's not true. You know what I mean? You got a panel of women on here. You got me as the host that, understand men completely. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What do you got to say about it, Tampa Joe? Welcome in again.
Well, the thing is, for women, when it comes to women and men, women are naturally supposed to be nurturers to the man. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the problem with these days is you have too many "I am woman, hear me roar" women, and they're not tapping into their feminine side and their nurturing side towards the man. So the man gets so wrapped up that he's just like, you know what? He becomes numb to it. He just literally becomes numb like a robot, and he just on autopilot the whole time, and hides his true emotions because a man can do that. We're tough enough to do that. We can rough it out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean it's healthy, and it doesn't mean it's right. You know
exactly.
What I mean? Yeah, and a lot of people are, and this is oh my God, this is going down a hell of a rabbit hole because there's so much to talk about when it comes to this and societal issues and everything with men and women that it gets crazy because like all these women are a lot of women and men think they have options, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When you're supposed to be with that significant other. And the thing is, back in the day, I don't know, because you're around my age, so I back in the day, you know what I mean? You were with that one person and you stuck to that person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? No matter what, through thick and thin. You know what I mean? You were loyal to each other. Now it's like I got options. I can do what I want. You're not going with my program. Guess what? I'm gonna go with someone else, and they're gonna get on my program. And that's the problem today. And guys, because some guys don't want to be alone, that they'll deal with hell and high water just to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just to be with that person because they don't want to be alone or because they love that person so much. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And women, I understand women are catty to other women, but they shouldn't be doing that to men. They should be nurturing the man and helping him grow into the man he needs to be. Not changing him, but helping him. And that's the problem I see.
I understand completely. I'm seeing a whole lot on TikTok and it's getting tiring. Again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel live podcast. in the Logic Room. So it's at the Logic Room on YouTube, you guys, Larry Podcast. So please subscribe so we can get on there and get this platform blasted out for everybody. But I commend you because you're a man and you could come on here and be, you know, not be judged for how you feel. And also there's so many, like you said, there's so many chapters to men's health that people are not talking about it. You know what I mean? And I understand, like I said before, I understand that men, they think that they're Superman, but you guys need to realize you guys are not Superman. Superman is fake, okay? Like Wonder Woman, that's all Marvel, okay? So don't put yourself in that predicament because you're gonna find yourself in a hospital, and God forbid, we don't want to lose you guys. You know what I mean?
And another thing is, men don't want to tell their significant other or the woman something because later on they'll come back and attack them with what they opened up to them with. And you know what I'm saying? So they'll tell them something deep down, and then the woman later on, when she'll use like a trump card later on and going, well, what about this and this and this, and throw it back at them like a year later.
So has that happened to you? Is that the reason why you're putting it out there?
I was married for 12 years.
Okay.
And one day, my ex-wife, she kidnapped my daughter, abandoned her 2-story house in Riverview, and went to Virginia with her mom. No rhyme, no reason, just bye. Like, I'm like, really? Like, wow. So yeah, but yeah, I went through, and I loved her so much. That's why I can speak on it. I went through abuse with her, emotionally, physically, everything, for literally 12 years. It was like a living hell, but I loved her. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a man does. A man is loyal into the sense that when he really loves somebody, he's gonna stick with that person through thick and thin. Mm-hmm. The woman is the one that just be like, bye.
You know what?
Now, like at first they're like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." You know what I mean? It's great. Mm-hmm. But then once y'all ain't happy, now I gotta go. Bye.
See, that actually happened to me on my first marriage, but it was because he was abusive. He was abusive towards me. I got all of the bullshit after the fact. I had trauma from my past. If you haven't seen my testimony, you could go on the YouTube channel and it's on there. It's the big one. But he was so mentally delusional that, of course, he was Puerto Rican. So you know how Puerto Rican men think. They think, oh, you're my possession, that you're going to do what I say. Que esto lo otro. Look, I ain't got no time for you, yo. Like, seriously. I'm my own woman. And at the same time, I didn't know what I wanted after the fact, because when I left him the first time, it was like, it's not going to work. When you're an abuser and you do what you do, you think that somebody has to be a doormat for you. That's not going to be the case here. You know what I mean? So I knew better. So I had to go. Plus, it was a generational curse that I had to break because a lot of the stuff that I went through when I was growing up. But when I got to that point, I was like, I got to go. And thank God that we didn't have any children. Because the kids are the ones that suffer. You know what I mean? In all honesty, the kids are the ones that suffer. Because people change. Every single day, people change. Every year, people change. Every 5 years, every 10 years, people change. Cambian. And if you can't keep up with it, if you don't sit down and really talk about what the issues are, then what happens? You start breaking apart. You know what I mean? And do you really want that? Do you really want that? If you can't work it out, then be a woman or a man and put your big panties on or underwear on and say, look, I don't want to be with you no more. Or if she doesn't want to be with you, I don't want to be with you no more because this, and that. If it can't be worked out, then what could you do? You know what I mean? But the kids are the ones that suffer.
Yeah, because I only come from a biblical perspective, and biblically, and see, that's why I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
No, I can understand that. Go ahead.
No, biblically, it is not. There's nowhere where it tells a man to submit to a woman. It always says the woman has to submit to the husband. Always.
Yeah. Yeah. I have plenty to say about that one.
I'm actually a biblical theologian, so you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But biblically, a woman is supposed to submit to the man. Biblically. Now, in a secular sense, yeah, women don't. Women are going to do what they want to do. And that's fine. But if you're going to honor God and you're going to honor His word, to us, then you have to. And even if he's in the wrong, you have to submit to him. The Bible says. And if you need scriptures on that, I'll send
I got them. Please, me, because I just got into it with somebody.
Okay.
I just got into it with somebody that tried to tell me different. But we're gonna get into that one day. Not right now, because I feel a certain way about that one. But I thank you so much. I thank you so much, Tampa Joe, for your comment. Let's go down to Crystal. Crystal, what is your take on the subject? Mental health for men tonight. Let's go. Wellness Wednesday, y'all, in the Logic Room.
First of all, this is a big one because, I mean, as a woman who struggles with mental health herself, I can only imagine what men go through. Not only that, but also us women who have been through trauma ourselves coming into a relationship. And then if your husband has had some trauma, I feel like we should be their safe place, though. We should allow them to be able to come to us, to break down, to tell us the deep stuff without, when we get in our moods, because Lord knows we all do, throwing it back in their face.
I agree.
We should be able to, you know what I mean? Like, because I know sometimes we could be petty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like when we're in those moods, not to allow ourselves to be like, okay, well, this, that, and that, back at him. Because once you're his safe place, you need to allow him to be able to break down, be able to come to you and be his safe place, you know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all need somebody to be that safe place for us. Oh, no.
That is very true. That is very true. I just wish that, people understood, like a lot of people just come on these lives and they just bash one another, women bashing men, men bashing women. Where's the solution there? Where is there to say, stop? Okay, stop. Think about what you're doing to either your own people or your own people. You know what I mean? You have women bashing men, men bashing women. Where's the median there? Where's the understanding there? If you're constantly going to have a going back and forth confrontation, because that's what I call it, combativeness, then there's never going to be a middle. There's never going to be an understanding because you're always going to be, and I'm guilty of it. When I get hurt or when somebody hurts my feelings, I'm hurt. I'm good. Don't talk to me. Don't ever try to say anything to me because you know what? It's going to get to the point where I'm going to go off on you and you're not going to like it because I'm the type of person that's what it is. But I'm starting to learn that when you don't listen and when you're combative with everybody, you look at yourself on the outside of that box and everybody's looking at you like, I don't even want to deal with that person. You know what I mean? Right. And if you want to see yourself by yourself, that's exactly where you're going to be, by yourself. You know what I mean? So it's hard to, it's not hard, but it's hard. You know what I mean? Because us women, and I'm not going to lie, we be on our feelings. Yes, we do. A man will walk around and be like, you know what, whatever. You want some food later? You want this? You want that? And it's a funny thing because I see it as a squirrel game. Okay. I see. I could be the meanest of the meanest. Let me tell you, I won't talk for 2 or 3 days. But you know what? Who loses is me. Honestly speaking, I'm the one that loses because I love my husband. You know what I mean? He's a big old teddy bear. And, it frustrates me. It really frustrates me.
We gotta meet your husband.
Huh?
We gotta meet your husband.
Girl, he's on here. You guys follow my husband, father of Jessa. He's on here. I don't know if he's on here or not. But let me tell you, my husband is a saint. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. But he comes from a military background, you know what I mean? And I never understood until I met him so many different ways and so many different things, how to be different, you know what I mean? Like different foods and stuff like that. But we're not going to get into that. My thing here is I wish men would be a little bit more open about their feelings. And I totally understand that, Crystal, when you said about, that we need to be their safe space because they don't have that. You know what I mean? If they got another guy, this is one thing. If they got another guy that's single, they're not going to understand. You know what I mean? Only they're going to understand if they're single, I feel. But if they married, they need somebody else that's married or they're going to need you to talk to them. You know what I mean? And if you're going to come out of pocket, you're not going to want to listen. It's just like with a kid. When a kid is trying to talk to you and you shoo them away, you're not listening to them. And they get in their feelings. They really do. My daughter is one of them. I'm like, baby.
Because naturally you guys think like, oh, men are tough, and women naturally have a support system. You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock said it the best. He was like babies, women, and dogs get unconditional love. You know, men have to work for that. You know what I'm saying?
It's because you guys put that image on us. Like, men have to be strong. You guys did that to us. Like, men are not supposed to have feelings. None of that. That's how I grew up. I never seen my stepdad, my dad, my mom's boyfriend right now have any type of feelings, because I don't know why you guys don't have no feelings. Like, I really want to get down to the bottom. Like, why you guys don't show that feelings? Like,
because women have feelings, men have logic. And the thing is, a man is willing to be able to survive where a woman...
Tap the screen, share the live, you guys. Tap the screen, share the live. Let's get to 10K. We could do it. We did it the other night, so I know we can. Let's go. Keep tapping the screen. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go, y'all. We know we can do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But
Tampa
like
Joe.
I was saying, like me personally, I've been celibate now for 4 years by choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By choice. We're willing, and see, men can do that.
Yeah.
Men are willing to do that because, you know, and the thing is, when you've been through enough, you know enough. You know what I mean? And with men, you need men, because without men, women would die off. We would just die. Because we can't procreate unless we had like an artificial womb or something that we made from a robot or something. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? We can survive until we die.
Okay, so that's another thing in the subject of men's mental health, because I heard somebody say on one of their platforms that they asked the question, do women need men? And I'm like, absolutely. Why would you even think something like that? How are you supposed to procreate? How are you supposed to have babies if you don't have a man?
Oh, he was made by a man.
I don't get it. I don't get it. My thing here is we have been associated. I think that all women been put in a bowl, just like men have, and they have been labeled. Okay, she don't understand. He don't understand. Oh, I'm going passport. I'm going this. I'm going that. But in all reality, if you're going overseas is looking for another woman or looking for another man, the answer, you first have to look at yourself before you go wandering in other woods. Okay, if you don't take the time out, it's like taking the time out. You have to take the time out to be able to understand somebody. If you're just gonna get up and go and move around, you're never gonna know, because what if you're the problem? You know what I mean? And people do not know. They just don't know. They think that going overseas is okay and nothing is going to happen. But guess what? You don't know that. There's a lot of traditional places out there that, you know, it is what it is. You want to disrespect, that's what happens. But getting back into the subject of mental health with men, I also feel that there needs to be more resources when it comes to that, because maybe the guys don't want to go to where there's a bunch of women either, because they want to have their own space. But from what I hear, it's wrong, because we have women psychologists that are using, just like you guys said, they're using their stories as something of fun, making fun of the men. And I don't think that that's correct. I don't think that that's right at all. That is so wrong. Because you're getting paid the big bucks to tell me that I got something going on with me, but then you want to make it into a storybook? Oh, no. You know what I mean? And there has to be a way of suing, because there's no way in the world you're putting my story out there. I'll know it's my story. You know what I mean? You can cover it, try to cover it any type of way you want, but I'll know it's my story. In some way or another, they have to read up on that. You know what I mean? Let's go. Go ahead. Go ahead, Caroline. Or go ahead, Tampa Joe. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to women, too many women these days are being victims instead of standing up and being the support that the man needs. You know what I'm saying? Holding stuff down when he can. because he's just emotionally, mentally just gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he's just like, you know, because the thing is, yes, we're strong, but when you mess with us emotionally and mentally and you get into those deep parts of us, we become weak. We become like, what's it all for? We just give up in a sense. We don't fully give up, but we give up for a short time because we're just so, you know, we're so exhausted with everything from our work to this to that. Yeah, we can work and do all that kind of stuff, but it's like when you mess with us emotionally and you get to those parts where you know where we opened up to you and you know it's there and you know what I'm saying? It's like we just get weak and we're just like, yo, what the, you know?
Thank you, Anthony, for the sugar bears. But I agree completely. I agree, and this is why we've opened up the platform, the Logic Room, because there's a lot of people that are delusional. There's a lot of people that think that it's only black and white, and I've said this many times on my lives. It's not only black and white. It's black, white, and the gray area. Because if we really sit down and look at it, if we're sitting at a table, 3 women and 3 men are sitting at a table. We have the median is the middle part, okay? If everyone takes a piece of paper and the subject is about mental health for men, and everybody writes out whatever they need to write out, we throw it into the middle, we pick out one person picks it out, or the person that's in the middle, the median, picks it out, then they read the question, and whatever the question is, you know, like we're having the question tonight, why do men suppress their mental health? So we are put there to speak on it. And then when we are listening, when you are listening without all the noise in the background, that's when you start listening to honestly what it is. And you can honestly pinpoint exactly what it is for a man. We know for women, because I'm a woman, of course, and we have women on the panel that know what our triggers are. We know what makes us tick. We know that when you guys do something out of pocket, we have to either is a fight or flight thing. You know what I mean? And when it comes down to that, when we busting out on y'all want to feel like, oh well, you know, this is for nothing. But no, it's for something, because if you read between the lines, if you've known us for so long, then you need to learn how to read between the lines. You need to learn how to learn a woman just like we learn y'all. Because let me tell you, I've learned my husband. I know what makes him tick. You cannot put him in a corner, okay? And a lot of the times, a man, if you women haven't read between the lines either, a man, what he wants is respect. Okay. I asked that question to my husband, and I asked him the question. I said, babe, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? He says, all I want is respect. That man goes out and he works 10, 12 hours a day. Okay. He's away from us most of the time because he's at work. How could you not appreciate that? You can't bash that. You can't make him feel like he's nothing, because he is something. You know what I mean? Tap the screen, share the live, you guys. Tap the screen, share the live. I'm getting a lot of notifications. You guys. Let's go. So I totally understand it, Tampa Joe. I totally understand it. And we got to continue talking about this subject, because a lot of people, they might be coming in and out, and they might be coming in here and just looking and not, you know, paying attention to what the topic is. And we know we have men out there that are talking and mentally, like, you know, they're done. You know what I mean? They're so stressed out already that they're like, I'm giving up. You know what I mean? But what I say is, don't give up.
You're actually right about that. You know, men need respect, women need love. The thing is, the women have a stronger pain tolerance than a man in a lot of ways, if you don't understand that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, and that's why I said a lot of women these days, look at Big Mama. Why was Big Mama so strong? You know what I'm saying? Why? How could she hold the family down? Like when you see these 1950s, these 40s, these, you know what I'm saying, even 30s, 1960s women. You know what I'm saying? They were holding the family down while the man did what he had to do, but they were holding the family down.
Yeah.
Because that was the support. That was his support system.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. Women have to be stronger these days and not be in this victimhood of, like, women aren't that weak. Sorry to tell you, but women aren't that weak. And I know I was raised by 2 women, my mom and my sister. My dad left when I was 6 months old. Mm-hmm. So I know women aren't that weak. So, you know, when women try to do that thing and they try to play the role of a victim, not actually being a victim, but playing the role of a victim. And this isn't going to anybody particular. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got
you. Know what I mean? It's like, they have to understand that. They have to understand. They have to, strap on their woman boots and do what they have to do for the family, whether the guy's acting a fool or not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because women have that tolerance to do that and that pain tolerance to do that, where a man doesn't. A man just shuts down.
But let me tell you something, Tampa Joe. Let me tell you something. We get tired too. Okay? A lot of women come and say, well, you know what? I'm tired. It's either being abused mentally, emotionally, psychologically, being disrespected, being cheated on. A good woman gets cheated on. Oh, and she goes out there and does it to him. Oh, she's a hoe. And my thing here is, if y'all can turn the tables and she can be the man and you could be the woman, then I think you will totally understand. But let me tell you, some men don't understand that still, even when they look at the part where if the women did it to you, y'all wouldn't know what to do with yourselves. Because it's a proven point.
No, but y'all don't get tired though. Y'all get fed up. That's the difference. That fed up is not tired. We emotionally and mentally will break down. Now, for a short time, not for all. I mean, we'll eventually get out of it. But you guys just get fed up. You don't really technically get tired. You guys, that's why you guys can run like miles and miles and work out and do aerobics. Men just work out and just pump some weights and we're good. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference there. And if you understand that difference, you'll understand the man versus the woman. Or not verse, but the man and the woman and what they need to do in their roles. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah. The man has to do a lot more than just go to work and come home. Obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when the man's in right standing and he's doing the right thing, and the woman's just like taking advantage of that, that's where the problem and the issues a lot of times come in this system, because women think like they're owed that from the man somehow, like. You know what I mean? Instead of just standing next to him and working with him as a team, they go and just, oh, you got to do this for me and do that. Like he's like some like robot slave. Like, you know what I mean? That's how a lot of men think. They're not going to tell you that, but that's how they think. Like,
I appreciate you coming on and telling us, because I mean, it gets to the point where you think that, a woman doesn't get fed up or it doesn't get tired. We get tired. Believe me. Let me tell you something. Today I cleaned the house. Okay, I clean my house every Wednesday. Okay, because it's Wellness Wednesday. I gotta clean my house. But let me tell you, it takes me 3 hours to clean the house. That's washing the dishes. That's washing clothes, drying clothes, cleaning, dusting, mopping, que todo que esto, los perros, and all this other stuff. My daughter, she's at school, so I don't have to worry about her. But I still gotta go pick her up. Things like that. You know what I mean? So we do get tired. We just not like the Energizer Bunny.
You see the energy you have right now. The energy you have right now? Exactly. I'm a single person. I live a single life. I live by myself. So I have to do my own laundry. I have to clean my own place. I'm exhausted at the end of that. Not because not because of the work, but mentally and emotionally. Every week I do that, and it's like I go get the groceries, I go do this, I have to do what the man does and the woman does, and it's exhausting for a man mentally and emotionally, not so much physically. But you understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Where you guys have a mental capacity where you're stronger than that. You know what I mean? Like you break through that easy. That's why you have energy now. Like, I did all this, I did all that. Look how much energy you're saying it with. Let's be real.
Shut up! Don't bring me that up. Go ahead, Caroline. Go ahead, Caroline. Dile.
I clean my house every day, Monday through Sunday, and I have little kids. I have a 1-year-old and a 7-month-old, and a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. So it's like I tell my husband, it's like, if I don't clean my house one day, should I be ashamed of it because I feel like it's dirty?
No, ma'am.
That's me, because my parents, when we grew up in my house, you had to have the house clean. No podías tener un cochinero.
Oh, of course. Yo limpio. I clean little by little every single day. I clean one thing, I clean another thing, because I can't do it all in one day. because I got other things that I have to do. But Wednesdays is my deep clean day. So that's when I go in really deep. Pero I understand you.
I hate it because I tell my kids and my husband, it's like, don't take it on you guys, and I especially tell my husband, if I don't clean the house, don't think that I'm not doing anything. Like, you're good. Don't even come to the house and don't do anything. Like, don't even worry about it. But I had this neighbor, right? I'm gonna get to the point. I had this neighbor, right? And she's like, why don't you let your husband go in the kitchen and cook him something? Why would I let my husband that works 14, 16 hours, especially in the summer? I don't see him till 8 in the night, 9 in the night, you know? And I'm like, why would I do that when he is already emotionally tired from working all those hours, because he works, you know, working in the construction. And she's like, it still don't matter. He should still get in the kitchen and clean. Why would he do that?
I don't know. I mean, but I tell you.
I don't understand.
Go ahead, Crystal. Say that again.
I said some people don't understand that the role, like, they feel like your husband should go to work all these hours and come home and cook and clean, and that's not how it should be. If he's away from the house, I'm not going to say it's our responsibility, but in a sense, it kind of is to take care of him and cook and clean for him while he, you know, when he's home. Some people don't understand that, though, because, like, for me, like, no, I'm not Hispanic, but I have grown up around a lot of Hispanics, and that's the way that it is. It's like the husband's away from the house. You know, when your husband comes home, you cook and clean for them. That's the way that it goes. But a lot of society, I'm going to say, feels like the man should go out, work, come home, cook and clean, and do everything else. And that's not fair to him. Because that's tiring for him as well.
Yeah. When I was married, I did that. I worked a full-time job. I took care of my daughter more than my ex-wife did. I was about to get another job on top of that, and when she came home, I would cook for her. I would clean the house because she wouldn't do it, and I was doing all of that while she was just working her little 12 hours as an RN, and that was it.
Let me applaud you, because let me tell you, there is not a lot of men that'll come out here and say that, because it is our job to help you. We are supposed to be a team.
Well, see, as a Greek man, one thing is, like, we're how can I say this? Our mothers are important to us. We're not mama's boys, but we're raised in that nurturing factor. So we love our women. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't, and I think that goes for any man. Like, we don't want to see a woman cry. You know what I'm saying? So if something's overwhelming, and we'll you know, even if we worked a 14-hour day and you're crying and you're just, we'll help you, because we don't want to see you in anguish. Deep down, when we see a woman cry, that our hearts go out. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do what we need to do to help you. You know what I mean?
I'm saying something to you.
What happened?
You have some balls. You really have some balls, because a lot of men don't do that. You know, I give you credit, and you have my whole respect as a man, and I don't even know you.
I was raised by two women, though. That's why. You know, I could be why. But, you know, I mean, I've seen both sides. I've seen both worlds. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gay or anything. Excuse me for saying that. But, you know, I've seen both worlds, you know. So I understand the both sides. My mom, even to this day, come over, I'm cooking something for you. Or, you know, you want me to come home over and clean for you? I'm like, no, Mom, I'm good. You know, I'm 44 years old. You know what I mean? She still bugs me.
Well, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret, because I'm, like I said, I'm transparent, I'm real. My husband, okay, thank God for him. But I'm doing most of the stuff during the week, of course. While my daughter's at school, I'm here at the house doing my business and doing her and taking care of her, cooking for her, cleaning for her, everything. Plus, she does her own little thing. Like, she washes her own clothes. She does everything that she needs to do as she's growing up, because that's the way we're teaching her how to do it. But when he comes home on the weekends, some weekends, because sometimes he's away for months or a month, maybe a month and maybe weeks, but he'll come home, and I don't know if that's a problem for him. And I've never asked him, but I thank you for you guys for saying that, because he comes home and he'll cook for me. Like, he'll cook for me. He'll cook for the baby. And that's just the weekends, because he's not here during the week. But then, you know, he'll make me breakfast, or he'll make me coffee, que esto y lo otro, and I'm good. I'm happy for that. You know what I mean? But, you know, on another note, I feel sometimes like I need to do more. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I should be feeling bad or what it is, because I just feel like, okay, you know, he's home. Or is it something, or is that something endearing? You know what I mean? Is that something endearing?
Yes, it is. Because he's been gone for so long.
I have your back, you have mine. And that's how it works. That's
You know what? And that is true, because when I gave birth to my last kid, which it was 7 months ago, I was dying on the table. I literally was dying on the table from a C-section, and I was in, out of the hospital. I was a week, probably 2-3 days at the house, and I will be right back because I had a uterus infection, liver infection, abdominal infection. It was bad.
Oh wow!
And what my husband did, ese cabrón se levantaba a las 3 de la mañana. Can you translate?
Yeah, go ahead. That MF.
Ese cabrón se levantaba a las 3 de la mañana, 2 de la mañana a cuidar al recién nacido y todavía se iba a trabajar. Ese hombre tiene mucho.
Her husband would wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning after she had the infection in her uterus and in her kidney or in her liver, and he would get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then go to work.
You know, y él a veces se quedaba con los niños solo.
And he would stay with the kids, you know, during the day or during the time that she was in bed, because she needed it, you know. But see, we have men. We have to appreciate our men, because if we don't, then what happens is that they start thinking that we don't care about them, and that is not true. That is not. Tap the screen, share the live, you guys. Let's get up to 10K. We are at 5K right now. Let's get that 10K in. Let's go, you guys. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel at The Logic Room, you guys. Please, let's get up to 2K so we can do a giveaway. I'm trying to do a giveaway at the end of February, the beginning of February. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel at The Logic Room. Okay, guys? Go ahead, Caroline. Hey, T-Flight. Dale. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is Caroline there, or se fue?
I don't know.
Oh, she left.
I think her phone. She probably went to the I think she had another call. But yeah, I mean,
but the thing is,
go ahead.
But the thing is, like, you know, with a man, you know what I mean? He's gonna hold you down where he has to hold you down if he's a good man. Mm-hmm. The problem with it is, and that's something I wanted to say, because in my experiences, and maybe it's just my preference, or I don't know, but like how I see you women, you are great women. I haven't met a lot of those in my life. Mm-hmm. Where I'm living with them or I'm having a relationship with them. I haven't met a lot of.
Hey, T-Fly, what's up? The topic is mental health for men. Men's mental health. Today is Wellness Wednesday, you guys. Here in the Logic Room, we are talking to men who have mental issues or mental health and feel like they can't speak because they feel like people are just wanting to override them as men and call them, you know, a female dog because they have mental illness. But in all reality, it's not just women, it's also men. My thing here is, why is it that men are not talking about this? And in all reality, we could be helping each other out without the judgment, okay? Because all of us could be judged. Everybody needs to look in the mirror. You might think you look cute and everything, but in all reality, you're like in turmoil inside of your body, and we don't want that. You know what I mean? We don't want it, and we don't need, you don't need to be having all of this turmoil and not being able to talk about it. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying Hot Wheels. I was gonna say take it with Hot Wheels, but he jumped off.
Yeah, he did. T-Flight, what's up? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying because, you know, like, honestly, it's like I've seen women just become evil, and I'm not saying that as a man, like man versus woman. I'm just saying I've seen it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like when a woman's fed up or when she's done, she's done.
It's like the song.
And it's like, yeah, but the problem is when you do that against someone that didn't deserve that. That's what I'm saying. When you're actually doing you're doing right by that woman, and she just goes and does evil on you or against you. You know
See, but
that messes our health up. That messes our mental health up. That messes us up.
Well, that's exactly how we feel. That's exactly how the same way that you're expressing yourself right now on this platform is exactly how we feel when we're done that way. Entiende? Yeah. So when you turn the tables around, how could you feel like, oh my God, they did this to me? And it might not be because of you. It might not be because of you. It might be because they have been through other things and they haven't reciprocated it towards you, or they haven't told you because they feel that you're not a place to be able to talk to. If they don't trust you, they're not going to talk to you. The same way, if a man doesn't trust a woman, they're not going to talk to her. And that is the problem nowadays too. I've noticed that trauma is so big that, if you can't trust somebody, then what's the point of having a relationship with them if you can't even talk to them, if you can't even be vulnerable with them, if you can't even cry around them? You know what I mean?
It's supposed to be family.
Exactamente. There you go. You're supposed to be family.
It's supposed to be familia. It's supposed to be, like that woman and man are supposed to be more than just husband and wife. They're supposed to be family.
That's right.
And that's something that, but I could give you the answer, but I know none of you would agree with it if I said it.
Go ahead.
I think you know where I'm going. No,
you got to save space. You got to save space. We're not going to judge nothing that you say because this is an open mic.
Men are naturally men, and there's a reason for it, okay? And it's been scientifically proven and everything else. And we've already talked about this, you and me, but I know you don't agree. Men are naturally polygamous, okay? One husband with many wives. And that's actually a support system for the woman too, because when there's more women, there's a support system there for them. Once there's a sisterhood that's created, an effective sisterhood. But, no. That's just, but exactly.
That's not happening.
Wait.
That's not. You just went left field with that one. You just went right after. Let me, Crystal, hold up, Crystal, hold up. I know you were about to go in. I know you go in. We've had me and Tampa Joe have had this conversation, and I don't agree. But let's sit here and agree to disagree, okay? Because we are women, and a lot of us women do not agree with that. I don't care what kind of man you are. I don't care if you the Don Juan DeMarco of anything and everything. If you belong to me and I belong to you, polygamy ain't no place there. Because I'm not having my husband's member and another female. It's not happening. It's not happening. And I'm pretty sure these other women are not gonna want that either.
No, but hold on.
Go ahead.
Before you get me wrong, get me right.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying full polygyny, biblical polygyny. I'm saying either or. So if it's just monogamy, okay, it's monogamy. If it's not, if you need more, or if there can be more where there's more support, then why not? You know what I mean? Like if you're my wife and you can't get pregnant and we really want a child, right? That will be ours in some kind of bloodline of something. You know what I mean?
You're gonna adopt. That's what you're gonna do.
Well, I know you can adopt, but I'm saying, I understand that. But what I'm saying is,
tap the screen, share the live, y'all. It's getting deep in here. Go ahead.
Let me say it real quick before I start cooking.
She about to throw the damn spoon at you. She about to throw that spoon at you, Carolina. Cuidado.
If you want a kid, there's a lot of kids that need parents. There's a lot of kids in the orphanage. So you're not because we want a kid real bad, I'm gonna stick it to another female. No, you got me real F up.
I understand that. But like I said, in ancient times when they couldn't do that, that's what happened with if you look in the Bible, that's what happened with Abraham and Sarah. She couldn't get pregnant, so she went and got her handmaiden and said, "Marry my handmaiden," and get a child, and they had Ishmael.
You know what, Tampa Joe, we you know what, we do need to get into that biblical part of it, because it's different today, very different. So I'm trying to figure out.
In America, I would say more in America than worldwide because they do practice it in different countries.
We can't have social media. We didn't have none of this bullshit. So back in the day, you can't bring it to 2023 because back in the day, we didn't have all this. We didn't have no side chicks. We didn't have no side dudes. None of that. If you want to talk about it real good, we can talk about it because I'm into it now.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's well, if you look in ancient times, they did have multiple wives, and they also had concubines, which were second-rate wives that helped the wives. I mean, that's all biblical, and I did a 2-year study on it. That's how I know about it so well. But yeah, it's very biblical. If you need the scriptures, I don't have them with me right now, but if you want to have another live, I'll bring.
Oh no, we're gonna definitely have these lives. This is what the Logic Room is all about. My thing here is these deep conversations that everybody needs to be having, because we have a lot of people that don't agree, but we have a lot of people that do agree. And what's good about it is that we can have a refreshing mentality about certain things, even though we don't agree with the fact that polygamy it can be done today. You know what I mean? My thing here is a man should be with just one woman and vice versa, because in today's day, HIV, all these different diseases are out there that are uncurable. And I'm not gonna have no man come in me talking about, oh yeah, I slept with such and such, or I slept with her and them and that. No, mi amor, tú te tienes que ir. Because I'm not gonna have you come in me to tell me, oh, okay, you know, you got HIV, okay, you did this, okay, you gave me something. We fighting. We are fighting with boxing gloves.
But that's not how it goes. That's not how it goes with actual biblical polygyny. But like I said, it's not even about that. You know what I mean? Like after I did my studies, I realized that and I looked at the history and everything, like the back and forth with the church and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what I've come to the conclusion with is it's basically on the faith of the couple. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you do want to do it, do it. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's where I came with it. It's where your faith is at. If your faith isn't there, it's okay. It's fine. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And that's the conclusion I came to, that it's based on where your faith is. You know what I mean?
So you agree? You agree?
But to demonize it, there is no scripture. And I promise, I looked several times.
Mm-hmm.
There is no scripture that says it's a sin. Ever.
Oh, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it.
The only time they speak against it is for a king, like an actual king, not to have many wives.
Well, dang.
But only because of government type stuff, because the woman can manipulate him into like doing something against a country or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, there is no sin that says no to it. When it says a bishop, like a bishop or deacon can only have one wife, that Greek word one is mia, first.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were practicing it in the New Testament.
Yep.
So, and that's why he brought that up, because he said you must have a first manager wife over the other wives. You love them all equally, but there has to be a manager wife in the sisterhood that, does the day-to-day, managing of the women.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, straight up, Tampa Joe. I'm one woman at 100. I could switch my wig around 20 million times, and I'll be a different wife every single freaking night. I promise you. Right. I'll be that manager wife. I ain't having no other woman in my bed. Thank you, Tampa Joe. Let's go down to Jazz, because she just came into the room. Welcome into the Logic Room, Miss Jazz. How are you doing tonight?
Hello. How are you?
I am blessed. How are you?
So that's what she is. I'm good. I actually agree with him. Don't come at me.
Go ahead.
I'm a polyamorous woman. I do believe in consensual multiple partners. And my ideal situation would be just that. I am bisexual as well. So for me, in order to be truly happy, ideally, I would have a man on one arm and a woman on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But for me, if I'm going to be with a multiple unit, as far as being with a man and a woman at the same time, we are part of a polycule, and everyone's been tested so that we know we're safe and consensual. And there would be no exploring outside of that polycule. Understand? Like for like a lot of people assume because you're in either if it's an open relationship is different, but there are typically rules to that where it's more like a contract, and you're not just going around sleeping. I mean, that's cheating. You know what I mean? If you're just going around sticking, your whatever in somebody else just because, that is cheating. But when you're entering into a polyamorous or a polycule or a polygamous type of a relationship, there is a contract that everyone involved agrees with, where it's like, okay, he can lay with both of us. I mean, I know polycules that everyone shares the same bed, or there's 3 separate bedrooms, and the people share time. I've been on dates with 2 people at the same time, and out in the public, people don't know what to make of what's going on. But it still works like a single 2-person relationship, rather, where if you step outside of that polycule, you're still cheating. It still works the same way.
Gotcha. If I have 5 wives, these are one wife unto me. I don't go
exactly. Exactly. All 6 people have entered into that marital contract, where it's like, okay, we belong to each other as a unit, not necessarily we belong to him.
And this does
we belong to each other.
Mental health. This does tie into men's mental health, because the more women I have, the more support I have, the more calm I'm going to be, and more of that. Because the woman makes the man, right? That's more of a man.
So I'm not taking it that far, but I do agree with the fact that I believe in like household units. All right, if there's 3 of us in the household, there are 3 of us cleaning the household. There are 3 of us cooking the meals. There are 3 of us taking care of the children. It's not necessarily me and another woman taking care of the man of the house.
You don't want to have sex that day. You don't want to have sex that day, girl. Go get it.
This is very true, but or let's get into something else that day. You know what I mean? But yes, it does happen. But again, it's more or less like, hey, not necessarily you can't have children, but you're raising your children together, and this child would have 2 mommies and a daddy. It's kind of like, or it'd be a mommy and an auntie type of a thing. It's but to me, it's natural.
And we make the rules. So basically, there's parameters that the women and the man make the standard of the rules of what is and what isn't.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm gonna be real with y'all, and y'all know how transparent I could be. But to me, it just feels like an excuse to have sex with different people. That's just me, though. Yeah, I'm not attacking y'all. Y'all can attack me. I'm the host. But what I'm saying is, to me,
I understand what you're
in the background, I'm talking about it just makes an excuse for you to be effing around with other females.
It's not like, see, your idea is with a lot of hoes. The thing is, what you have to understand is, I want more family, more love, more unity. That's why I would do it.
So, do you think that is a de-stressor? Is that what you're saying? Is a de-stressor for you?
No, I love women so much, because there was a time where I hated women. I was a player for real, and I hated women. I just used women, and I hate to say that. This is before I was a Christian. I mean, I was bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was like a vampire. I just took the innocence from women and just put it for myself, because of what women did to me, and I just started hating them. But now I love women to death. Like, I love them. So I want more of that. I want more love. I want more unity. I want more family. It's not a stress reliever. I even made a vow to God. I said, if I got married again, that if he would allow, I would have multiple wives. You know what I mean? In the proper way, the biblical way. You know what I mean? Because
tap the screen, you guys. I'm sorry. Tap the screen. Share the live. You guys, let's get to 10K. We almost there, you guys. Let's go. Tap.
I was gonna unalive myself 3 times when my wife left, and I was married to her for 12 years. That was my end all be all. I was content. I'm like, I'm gonna die with this woman. And then she just ruined my whole life. You know what I mean?
Now, can I say?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry that happened to you, but in my situation as well, like, I was married for 20 years. And before we got married, I expressed to...
There goes my husband. My husband is on the panel, you guys. Father of Jessa, he's on.
Hello. Hello, husband. So, when I was, before we got married, before we took those vows, I said, and you know, I was young, so I was still exploring, and I said, you know, I really do feel like I'm a naturally polyamorous person, and I would like to explore that type of relationship. And he didn't agree with that, right? He didn't agree with that because he did not want to share me with someone else, right? Now, what he did instead was cheat for 20 years behind my back. So instead of taking where you could have had that open and honest relationship where we could have shared that type of relationship and been healthy and had a marriage, I left him. And he went through the whole thing where now he, you know, I'm not that I'm the worst person in the world, but he's so sad and so miserable. And he tells me this stuff all the time. I should take him back because he made a mistake. No, you cheated for 20 years. That's not a mistake. You don't trip and fall in it. No matter how hard you try, you can't make that happen. But it's just shocking. Like I said, the fact that you were offered a relationship where you could have had that openly and honestly, but chose to, you know, I guess the dishonesty of it all was more of a thrill for him to be able to hide it and so on. That part I don't understand. But I mean, I personally have had. I've been in multiple relationships up to 6, and not all of them were sexual.
Wow.
Yeah, up to 6 at the same time, and not all of them were sexual. I would say if I had 6 relationships, maybe 2 of them were sexual, and everyone knew that I was dating someone else, right? And I've been in relationships where it was myself, a man and a woman in one solid relationship, but that was the only relationship that we had. Or I've been by myself, you know what I mean? It depends on my mood, my fluidity. Like I've been single for a year now, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm okay with my own company right now. When I decide to come out of that, you know, would be when I get my mental health situation straightened out, then maybe I'll start dating again, and we'll see what happens. Depends on what's going on, you know?
Gotcha. But, I want to switch the topic for a moment, and we're going to finish off with that. Okay. Is being brutally honest good for a relationship? So we're getting off the mental health for just a moment, but is being brutally honest with your spouse good for your relationship? Do you guys think it's a good thing? Let's start with Caroline. Caroline, go ahead. Caroline, ¿tú estás ahí? All right, let's move down to Tampa Joe. Go ahead, Tampa Joe.
Of course, and that's the whole point. Honesty is the best policy. We come clean about being filthy. And the thing is, what you have to understand is, even when we're talking about the poly or whatever else, you know what I mean? People today, they're not adults. Even if you're an adult, people don't act like adults. They don't have adult conversations. They don't sit down and have real adult conversations about it. You know what I mean? So express their real feelings and go, this is what I'm feeling. This is how it is. And you come together and you reason together. You don't fight. You reason together. You know what I mean? And break it down and show both sides. You know what I mean? In a loving way. And that's what you don't see today. What you see is, I want my way, you want your way. It's like little babies. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. You know what I mean? We need to sit down and have adult conversations and be brutally honest, but brutally in love. You know?
Gotcha. All right, Crystal, what do you have to say about it?
Yes, honesty it's key in any kind of relationship.
Gotcha.
And that's people. I mean, he literally said everything, and we do have to have those conversations. And yes, the bickering and the fighting, it has to be just, you know, like, this is how I feel, you know, but I also want to hear how you feel as well. So, as well as, you know, us women coming clean, let them have a chance to say what they have to say as well.
Yep.
And, you know, not just listen, not just take it, but listen to what is being said.
I agree with that one. I agree with that one a whole lot. Go ahead, Jazz.
I absolutely agree. I mean, honestly, there is no honesty without truth, right? And there's no trust without truth. If you can't be honest with the person that you're with, and I don't know if I like the word brutally honest, but honest, right? So, if your partner is having an issue, let's say in the bedroom, and you're not honest with that person, then you're not going to be satisfied in that relationship, right? But do you tell him brutally? No, you might talk to him honestly, but you don't have to put him down or her down, right?
Mhm.
I think that's why I don't like the word brutally, but I do believe in 100% honesty. And again, I think that's one of the reasons I was able to hold down 6 relationships at one time, because I was open, honest, having complete transparency with those people and saying, hey, listen, I can't see you today. I am seeing someone else today, but I will see you this day. And it's planning and type 1 personality coming into play, but it definitely helped, because once you tell a lie with that person, then all of a sudden, that whole thing kind of blows up and backfires in your face. So
brutal's a heavy word, you know what I mean? Because when you're brutal, but if you're honest, and that's what you do it in love, because if you're family, if you're loving each other, you're family. You know what I mean? You talk as family.
Mhm.
You break it. It's like you would talk to your sister, your mother, or your dad, or whoever. You know what I mean? You break it down. And that's where the respect comes in. That's where the love comes in. And that's where the mental health will help, because the man is able to express himself without having to hide it, like you said earlier, where he's like, I can express myself and be honest and be open and be safe.
Hey, Skywalker. Tap the screen, share the live, you guys. Let's get to 10K before the end of the night. Tap the screen, share the live. Thank you so much. But I agree. I mean, I just changed the topic, which is being honest in a relationship good. Going back to what you just finished saying, Tampa Joe, I think it's different when it comes down to family members, because sometimes you have to be brutally honest. I have to be brutally honest because,
They know you're doing.
What was that?
I say, even though you're brutally honest, like I could be brutally honest with my mom with her, but she knows I love her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
natural love there. Family
Exactly.
love. That's what you have to do with your spouse. You have to have that family love.
My husband says people who pride themselves on being brutally honest tend to focus on the brutality. Oh boy.
That's the problem I have with the word brutality, because the word itself kind of indicates that you have to destroy something before you're telling the truth, right? It has to be hurtful. But I don't believe that truth has to be hurtful. Don't get me wrong. I have been.
Yeah.
It's like really brutally
Me
honest.
too.
Like,
Me
this
too.
is never going to happen, and this is why it's never going to happen. But if it gets to that point, it's usually after gently saying or just kind of diplomatically saying what I would like or not like, or what's going on that's different, but then either catching them in the lie, or having them disrespect the boundaries that I've set by telling them that the original truth. That's when the brutality comes out, and I think that does happen. Exactly.
It's called argumentum de Botonium, I think, and basically that means do what I say or I'm going to beat you up.
Right, and that tends to happen, I think, more with family than anything else.
Yeah, I think definitely with family, because I've been in that position many a times. I've had to. I think that's like my defense mechanism when it comes down to family, and sometimes it does come out to other people as well, because I've been in a position where you got me to the point where, you know what, I'm not finna wrestle with this, so I might as well I use my tongue, and my tongue is quick. You know what I mean? And you know what they say in the Bible about the tongue. The tongue is it just gives off, you know what. But totally understand that and totally agree with everything that you guys are saying. And I think is used with different situations, brings out the brutal part, I think. So it's a good thing that we can differentiate between those two as well. You know what I mean? Because when I posted it, that's when everybody started saying, well, it might be brutal. Brutal is really brutal, It's like telling somebody that what you really, really, really feel.
Yeah, but remember, that's where patience and character and other things come into play.
Exactly.
When that's going on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you can catch yourself before you do the act of being brutal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be patient and kind and catch yourself in your mind and be like, you know what? Calm down. This is a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to relay in a conversation, in a dialogue, in peace and love. And if you can do that in your mind before you jump out and go, you know.
Yeah. I understand completely. I've been there. I'm telling you, I've been there, and it's been one of my faults. It's been one of my downfalls. And I of course, as you get older, you learn how to pick the battles that you want to end up back and forth with. But sometimes you're just like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want the drama. I don't want the toxicity. And in a lot of ways, it stays with you. And it becomes trauma, and it becomes drama, and it becomes toxicity on you. And I tell you that I'm learning through all of this, the healing process, and having to come straight out and say, you know what, I've had these problems, but I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? A lot of people have them, and they're like, oh yeah, in denial. You know what I mean? They don't want to look at the big picture. You know what I mean? Stepping outside of the box. You know, and I learned that yesterday. I actually learned it yesterday because I started counseling. I started, the one-on-one, because I've been wanting to, because of a lot of the things that I've been through. But that was one of the things that she said, when you're talking, you're so angry. And I really felt it. I mean, and I'm the type of person that I break down. I cry because I can't defend myself. You know what I mean? But I'm learning to. You get what I'm saying?
Right. But the thing is, and that's the thing with the fight, because when you fight, are you fighting the person, or are you fighting yourself?
I'm fighting myself.
Yep. You're fighting yourself. And not fighting the person at all.
Yep.
And that's what people don't understand. Like when I'm in Ybor, sometimes, I know you don't know where Ybor's at, but in Ybor City in Tampa, that's like the party area. You know what I'm saying? It's like 2 strips of just clubs and all that stuff. And I've stopped many fights, and I'm like, dude, are you fighting this dude, or are you fighting yourself? And they stop and think about it and go, like, yeah, why are you gonna start a fight with this dude? You know what I'm saying? When you're really fighting what's going on inside of you, because you're your worst enemy.
Yep. I agree with that.
Most, I think, if you visited like any of the debate talk lives and you hear some of these people screaming at the top of their lungs trying to prove some...
Yep. I have.
That they have no facts or stats to back up, but they believe in their heart of hearts that the moon is blue and it's going to forever be blue, but they can't prove that it's blue, but they're right. They're so right. And I've often said that I just literally see the red creeping up their neck and like smoke coming out of their ears just from listening to the tone of their voices. Like, who are you really angry at? Are you angry at the fact that you're not correct, or are you angry at the fact that this person doesn't think, you know what I mean? Like, what are you angry at?
Exactly.
And sometimes I think it's just the fact that, oh, well, you know what? Someone just proved you wrong through facts and stats.
Yep.
And now you're wrestling in your head with this thing that you've been taught your entire life has now been proven wrong by so many other people that you are screaming and attacking because it's the only thing you know. I've definitely come to that conclusion.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think me and you met on a platform. I think it was Strength.
We did.
I think it was Strength.
Drunk squirrels.
Oh my God. That was hilarious. I woke up with that one today, Jazz. I promise you I did. I woke up with it because I heard something on the back room, and I went to go look out the window, and I see a squirrel sitting on the damn windowsill trying to tap on the window. I was like, oh my God, no. And I thought about the damn squirrel. But this has been a really great conversation. And I hope that we can go ahead and have more conversations like this, especially with the men, because I like to be able to have a panel of 3 men and 3 women and be able to, change it up where people or men and women can come together and understand or try to understand each other more and better, because we have a lot of turmoil, and it's come to a pass that, if we continue to do this, and if we continue to be, I call it a difficult species, because let me tell you, when it comes down to looking into the world today and going into these live panels and listening to the trash that they talk to each other, it makes it so hard to be able to see where the solution is. And that's one thing that I'm willing to work through, Because I mean, we all going through something, but for you to just blame one part of it, one side of it, is not right. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I hear that, the black men particularly.
Oh yeah.
Screeching about how black women don't want them.
Yep.
So they move on to other races.
Yep.
However, I, as a black woman, don't want to date someone who does not respect me. So if you're not showing me respect, no, I don't want you. And that doesn't have anything to do with your skin tone or your ethnicity, because I love me a good black man.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I know from your actions that you are going to disrespect me, either in the way that I believe, in the way that I dress, or whatever the case may be, I don't want to date you. I don't want to date you. I just, why would I put myself through that misery? And in trying to explain that to some, it just becomes, again, are you more angry at yourself for having put yourself in that position? Or are you angry at me for not wanting you because you're not going to respect me?
Well, Jazz, it's also the universal world view of understanding. So, like, basically, a man, like we were talking before, men need respect, women need love, because a man naturally knows how to respect, and a woman naturally knows how to love. So that's why it goes like that. So if you have certain standards and that guy's not down with your standards, of course he's not going to respect you because he doesn't agree with those standards. You know what I'm saying?
Respectfully, though, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the men that are out there. Well, black women are all garden tools, right? Or black women are all dirty. Like, these particular men have chosen to literally degrade black women at all costs for, whatever they believe it is. And they choose to date other women because somehow they've made women outside of the black, outside of black skin more valuable than women in black skin. Now, and honestly, I experience it personally because I'm a light-skinned black woman. So in my world, I'm more fetish. I'm considered somewhat better than other women or black women because I'm lighter, and more, a little more of a proximity to whiteness. So I kind of have to be careful with who I date solely because of that. But when I see, I'm called to redbone. Redbone is the worst thing you can call a light-skinned woman, and kind of go through dating. Like, somebody went on a first date with somebody and they're like, oh, you're one of them good red bones. No, I no longer want to date you because you've already degraded me on the first date. You know what I mean? Like, this is not. So for me, that is disrespectful. It doesn't have anything to do with solely man versus woman. Yes, there are little things that a black, any man may disrespect a woman, and vice versa, without realizing it, without having that conversation. But there are specific things racially that are done between black women and black men.
Jazz, I understand. I was married to a black woman for 12 years, so I mean, I get it. But like I said, she left me, and I went through hell because she was putting me through hell. So,
yeah, I understand that.
So I can understand from a black man's perspective, even though I'm Greek. From a black man's perspective, I could sort of understand certain things, but I don't understand other things.
So, Joe, if you've experienced, I said, I'm sorry that you did, but to me, it becomes more of was that one your soul experience, or do you now push that onto every black woman that you've ever met? And can that be?
Oh no! Before I was married, I had other relationships where I was with black girls, and I mean, and there is there because she was Haitian, so I know that's a difference.
There's a whole different level of culture.
But before her, I was in a relationship for 4 years, where actually it was 5 years. But she was black, from Chicago. She was black, Mexican, and Blackfoot Indian. But you're more predominantly black. But yeah, it was up and down. I cheated on her, she cheated on me, back and forth kind of thing. But we loved each other. I mean,
and that definitely becomes part of the issue. Is not her skin tone or her ethnicity versus your ethnicity, the fact that you both cheated on each other is kind of the root of the problem.
I was young though. I was young. I was a teenager at the time. So
well, yeah, we both teenagers. I think I was more a single person when I was a teen, like a mono person lover when I was a teenager. But I don't know. Like I said, I think racially the divide that's caused definitely does lead to respect, disrespect, or whatever, because there are certain things that you will expect as a Greek man that I, as a Black woman, may not know or be able to give you without that level of conversation. I said, I personally don't put down anyone that wants to date interracially.
Keep going, guys.
But I do believe that you all, like, if you're going to date interracially, you have to have a separate set of ground rules for each other. This is my culture. This is what I like to do in my culture. And can we continue these traditions, right? Because as a Greek man, I know there's a whole host of traditions that you keep that your mother instilled in you. And if you're dating or married to a Black woman that knows nothing about these cultures, it's going to start to feel a little bit like a level of disrespect because those things are not upheld, right?
Greek. I mean, my dad's Irish, French, Pennsylvania Dutch, Seminole, Cherokee Indian.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, right? There's gotta be a level of communication and conversation between.
We give a lot of leeway to our women. As a Greek, we give a lot of leeway. I mean, even the president of Greece at one time was a woman. So, I mean, we hold women to a higher standard in the sense that we give them a lot of leeway where a lot of other men wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? We put our foot down when we need to, but at the same time, it's like we give a lot of our women leeway and freedom to do certain things. You know what I mean? Where a lot of other men don't.
Right. There's a lot of I mean, honestly, when you look at the cultural shifts and divides, there's most communities do hold their women to a higher standard. But when you do come down to the Black community, you see that reversal, where it's not all of them. There are several, millions of Black men out there that do respect women, because honestly, your mother's a woman. If you don't respect Black women, you don't respect your mother. But you do get kind of this overarching, it's out in the street. That's the problem, right? So these red pill guys have turned around and said, hey, listen, Black women don't respect us, so go and date Spanish women, or go and date white tea women, or go and date Asian women. That's a big fetish. But at the same time, you're hurting those women as well, because you fetishize them and you put them at a point, not obviously not you, but you put them at a place where you're not dating them or loving them for the person that they are. You're seeing their skin tone first, and probably never got to know them, right? You're just fetishizing the skin that they're in. You have to be careful, to me, with interracial dating. Very, very careful.
Well, for me, of course, I'm a Puerto Rican woman, and I'm also married to a Black man. So I've asked him the question why. He's into ethnicity. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal. Now, when it comes to my family, it's a totally different ballgame. They don't accept him because he's Black, and my family's Puerto Rican. But if you go to Puerto Rico and you go to the little part of Taíno and you go to different parts of the island, you got people that look just like him. Okay? You got people that look just like him. Okay? Panamanian men that are very dark, they could easily pass for a Black guy. But you know what?
Yeah.
There's all shades of everything. And I consider myself, I'm an Afro-Latina. Okay? So I have Black. You know what I mean? He's Black. If you look at a picture of my grandfather, he's the reciprocation of my husband. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to that, I've seen more of the Black and white issue. You know what I mean? Black men dating white women and putting them on a higher pedestal than a Black woman. And then you ask them the question, why is it that you date a white woman over a Black woman? And the first thing that they say is, well, because I don't want to hear the mouth. And then when you have a conversation with a Black woman, sometimes You got the ones that have definitely a lot of mouth, and then they want to be combative towards you because you're asking a question. If I'm asking someone a question and they're too combative, I mean, what do you think that's going to do for me? Because I'm going to be a combative individual as well. I'm just asking you a question. And I've been on platforms. I've been on platforms where I've gone in and I've had conversations. Like there was one time that I had a conversation and I was bashed because of it, because I asked a question about the hair problem. The hair problem, and everybody was talking about, it was a time frame where they were talking about white women and wearing braids. And I was like, why can't people just wear what the hell they want to wear? You know what I mean? My thing here is, and it has been coming out that, you know, Black women, and that's not bashing nobody, okay? Because I wear braids with the best of them, okay? But my thing here is, we as women have a beautiful mane. You know what I mean? Black women have a beautiful head of hair. Why is it that most of the time they wear wigs? And I come to find out, oh Lord, what happened? Oh Lord.
So.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? They killed my life. No. Oh God. Okay, resume that. There it is. Lord, you guys. I'm back again, you guys. I froze because I went in overtime. I'm on overtime. I need you guys to tap the screen to get to 10K. We're almost there, you guys. You know, I asked a question and it wasn't being rude. I didn't think it was being rude. But my husband was here that day and he was like, you should have never asked that question. And I'm like, why not? You know what I mean? I have deep conversations with people. I've had deep conversations with friends. I have girlfriends that have hair issues. They have alopecia. And that was one of the questions that I had. If you're going to wear a wig and put all this glue and stuff like that, and you have alopecia, why would you do that? You know what I mean? So for that, I got bashed and I felt a certain way and I felt bad. But I had a conversation with another young lady and she was like, well, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, those questions shouldn't be asked. And I'm like, that's crazy that you can't ask somebody a question without going back and forth and being combative about it. You know what I mean? Help me understand.
Your question about the black and white thing. The thing
I can definitely answer the hair.
Go ahead. Wait, let's go one at a time. Go ahead.
But the black and white thing is that these white women, a lot of them have the Jezebel spirit. What I mean by that is they throw themselves at these black men and they do whatever the black man wants. So obviously the black woman is making the black man work too hard, is what they would say. So from what my friends tell me, because I have a lot of best friends that are black and all this other stuff, and they say, yeah, they just make you work too hard, man. I was like, for real? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you know, but these white women are literally just, oh, you want that BJ? Okay, I got you. You want this? Oh, I got you. You want me to cook you that meal? I got you. But they'll do it like on a dime. You know what I'm saying? Where they would get from what they were telling me, my friends were like, they're combative towards them if they want that from the black woman. You see what I'm saying? Where the white woman will just do it like a slave almost. You know what I'm saying? For the black man.
So do you think so when you're saying that part, when you're saying the slave part, are you saying it because they're trying to make it better for the black man since they were one of the corporates of slavery? Or what is it?
Like if I have relations with a white woman, right? She's not gonna give it to me like she would do a black man. Okay, because she goes all out for the black man. Because I don't know when that trend really started. I don't know what that is. But she'll go all out for the black man in a way she won't do it for me, even though we're having the same kind of relations. Does that make sense?
I lay it down on fetishization. Wow, that you understand the word
fetishization? Yes, I know. Go ahead.
It's definitely that. It's like it's kind of like, this is what I need to do to keep him like that, right? I see what you're saying, Joe. That's that's what I hear as well.
I've seen super fine. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I've seen super fine drop dead white women. They always with like another woman or a black dude. And I'm like, why can't like a man of my color or whatever get something like that? You know what I mean? Because they're all with the black dudes that they're with, and I mean, props to them, but man, they're drop dead. they drop dead fine, and they get all of them, and it's like just because they're a different color skin. And I mean,
I guess the opposite too. You see it. You see, black men that are fine or even just slightly above average, and they're with somebody that is pimply faced and let go of herself and dragging herself across the floor and got a chin hair and everything hanging up. But it goes both ways, is what I'm saying. There's somebody for everybody. I don't put down anybody's looks, but for me, it's not about. It may be about subservity and the fact that they do more than. But then again, who's to say I don't? Who's to say that I'm not a submissive personality? But I would be looked over by a black man because, again, even if I say kindly and gently, hey, can you please pick your clothes up off the floor? Then now I'm being combative, right? And there's a lot of tone policing going on in the community where it's just kind of like, and I'm sure you hear this one all the time, Tina, oh, you're spicy. You're a spicy Latina, right? So you get the spicy Latina.
Yeah, I get that. I get that a whole lot because of the name. Yeah. I'm exactly. Taina. I'm Taina doll, which means
so you're like the little
the princess. The princess, the Puerto Rican princess. Or the Puerto Rican doll. And I'm like, that's kind of messed up. You know what I mean?
This kind of dog whistle. Right? I mean, it's bad, but it's like, I get angry black girl. I'm like, how am I angry? I just asked you to kindly pick your clothes up off the floor. I am not your servant.
Exactly.
Right? So I was dating a black man, right? Who, I was doing not only his laundry, but laundry for 2 of his kids. I would pick up the clothes off the floor every week, and I would go and do the laundry every week, and I would come home and hand them clean laundry. And you know what he and his child did with that said laundry? Threw it right back on the floor. So now if I say I am no longer doing your laundry, am I now an angry black woman, or am I reasonable for not doing your laundry?
I say you're reasonable.
You know what I mean? Like, so there's that trope, and I could say it like I could just have a look or a glance, and I would be called angry. And to answer your thing about the hair as well, for me personally, and I know I've heard it from a couple of my friends, it's not so. It's about the fact that we as black people will adapt a culture or make a culture, whereas our culture has been taken away from us as Black Americans. I don't want to speak for Haiti or Africa or what have you. Right?
Thank you for saying that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. So our culture has been taken away from us, and we've developed a culture through the time that we've been living here in the United States, and that culture has been said to be ugly or unacceptable or not the correct thing, right? The picture in my thing is a little older, but I have dreadlocks now. I've had dreadlocks most of my life. That particular picture, I've done something different. But I would get persecuted constantly. Oh, you should straighten your hair. You should get a Brazilian blowout, so on and so forth. So now that these white tea women are putting the same types of things in their hair, which they used to call me ugly or unclean, or, tell me I didn't wash my hair, or all kinds of things. Now you're not repeating that and seeing that as a new standard of beauty. That is where the ire comes in for most of us, right? Because how dare you put in cornrows after telling me for 50 years that I couldn't go to work wearing cornrows, and that I had to make my hair look more like yours in order to be even remotely acceptable or remotely qualified for a job that I'm more qualified to do. Right? So that's where that comes from.
I am glad that you sat here and you really put it into words and understanding. Because when you asked the question, and I didn't feel like I did anything wrong when I asked the question, because I wear wigs. I don't wear wigs. I wear hair pieces, and I wear, braids and things like that. And I thought I figured, okay, this is just baiting, and they were going back and forth about, oh, well, that's ours, and this and this and that, and this and this and that. And I'm like, okay, it just feels like you guys want to fight over something that is so crazy, but when you put it like that, it makes sense. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're going to find people that are going to be like, well, that's not yours still. You know what I mean? You're going to find people that are going to be like, well, you know what? I can wear whatever the hell I wear, and you can't tell me a dang on thing. And that's the way it goes. But with that perspective and with that understanding, now people can understand, and I also understand it, and I could, mentally be like, okay, you know what, she's right, because a lot of black women, a lot of whitey women, especially take things from other, and that's where it's coming from. You know what I mean? And now it's understanding.
Look at the lip fillers, right? The
Yeah.
lip fillers.
Yeah.
And some of the eye makeup that's being done now, and the bronzer. Like, you're making yourself darker, and you're basically doing like a subtle blackface.
Oh God.
And you're saying, like, this is the new standard of beauty, where even as early as maybe 15 years ago, someone that had fuller lips was considered ugly.
Yeah.
And these were the lips that she was born with,
yes.
right? Or I would be considered dirty or ugly for wearing my hair naturally, the way it grows out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at, like, these kids in high schools and colleges that are being forced to cut their hair.
Yes.
Because the YT referee does not like their hair, like, oh, this is dirty or this is unacceptable. Having kids, embarrassingly enough, take their hair out on the sidelines of games just to be considered a participant.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but the most beautifulest thing I've ever seen is a woman with a fro.
Yeah.
That's the most beautifulest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is a beautiful thing, and again, that's opinionated, but when you look at the cultures in the office culture, if I was to wear a fro in the office, I would automatically be considered an angry black woman with a fro.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the optics that has been put into place, just kind of,
I'm just saying, because I know women that, they got the fake lashes, the fake hair, like bionic woman kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I guess it's cool if you want to do that. I just, you know what I'm saying? There's a thing on YouTube. He's like, where the F is your hair? I don't know if you've seen that video. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a comedy video. It's really funny, actually. But the thing is, I just don't respect that. I respect a woman to be naturally, with her natural hair, however she makes it. Whether it's a fro, whether it's cornrows, whether it's this, whether it's that. Just natural. You know what I mean? Because that's how God made it.
That's the way I rock with my regular life. Like, if you look at me, I don't post a lot because, I am almost 50 years old, and I really just, I like going on lives with people. I don't have enough, to go on live myself because I really don't post much. But if you do look at my page, the filters that I do, I very rarely, if ever, have any makeup at on. And if I do, it's just lipstick.
Exactly.
It's just a little lipstick. If I'm going out or if I'm dressing up, because I will cosplay, that I will put on makeup for that day. I used to wear it a little bit more frequently, and I'm like, you know what? Even for my age, I think I'm good. I don't.
Yeah, it gets
make myself up all the time.
It gets to be too much. Like, I'm natural for the most part. The only thing that I enhance more is my lips and my eyebrows. And as you guys can see, I enhance them very well. I practice. I do makeup and things like that. And I see all these other females, but it's more of the new age females coming out with caterpillars in their eyes, and
oh my God, it's so bad.
It is so bad out here. We're gonna go in deeper with that one, and I'm gonna be like, why do women want to not go natural? It's so much easier to go natural, and you just get up and go. I mean,
do you think that that's a thing that has been created by, yes, I know a lot of men that do prefer natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that beauty standard of having, the big lashes and the like contoured cheeks and however.
Oh, that's society. That's crazy society.
That's what I'm saying. Like, did men do that to women, or did women do that to themselves? Because in order for it to get to a certain point, somewhere along the line, somebody had to have said, "Oh, I really love you" in that. So the woman keeps doing it, right?
You know what I've noticed, Jazz? You know what I've noticed? That it's women not loving themselves, because when a black woman does that, and because all these, like you said earlier, like all these white women are getting all these black men. Right? And the black woman wants the black man. You know what I'm saying? So she feels she has to, well, from what I'm seeing, what I'm observing, she feels like she has to, match up to what the white woman's doing and have to look like a white woman and have the Barbie hair and all this other stuff like they always do.
Well, that's always going to be, and to me that's not necessarily about dating. That's a survival instinct that has been created in Black society from the end of slavery. Because if you didn't perm your hair, if you didn't have that clean, you know, I don't want to say adjacent to whiteness, you know what I mean? You had to appear to be more like a white person in order to actually fit into their society. It didn't matter how dark your skin was. If your hair wasn't straight, you were considered other, or you were put, you know, stupid or something like that. But I think now in this dating world...
Yeah, Greeks are in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have black and we have white in us, so it's like
exactly, and that most societies are. Most societies are. We just, you know, I think the more capitalistic your society is, the more you lean towards a white or a Black, or, you know, make that separation of the people in your community, because you have to have somebody on the bottom for capitalism to work. Greece is a beautiful country, and the people are for the people. You know what I mean? Your people help each other out. You know, if you have a neighbor that wants something in Greece, you guys work together to get it done. Here, we're at each other's throat, right? But looking at today's society, I think the fake lashes, the hair inserts, everything, it's not a Black or white thing. It's a strictly female thing, because I see white tea women walking out of the house with lashes longer than Black girls. I've seen, you know, just so many things done to enhance the body. I mean, look at the women getting the BBLs, right? So I was put down for my body looking like that. And now... all of a sudden, people are having surgery to look like that. I mean, I have to tell my child all the time, like, you are not FAT. People are actually going to Brazil and dying to get a body that looks like yours. Yeah. Stop being so down on yourself. This is what, you know, this is what people want. But society has spent so much time telling us that in order to be attractive, you have to be a size 2. That we damage ourselves to get to that look. And I think it's the same thing going with the beauty standards of makeup and lashes and so on. It's so much that we're damaging ourselves to be attractive for someone else. It may not be self-hate, though, because technically, as women, when we start to self-hate, we do less and less of those things. Those things are self-care, or at least they're put as self-care right now. So a woman that may be depressed or hating on herself is not going to go out of her way to get the lashes done unless she's using it as a pick-me-up, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I just think somewhere along the line, someone said, this is attractive, this is the standard of beauty, and men have fallen into that. Because I did test it out. I did plop on some lashes and see someone that I had been seeing, and the change in that person's reaction towards the lashes was quite noticeable. So I'm thinking, if you see people, I mean, I used to get my nails done like yours too, but now the business that I'm in, it hurts too much when they break, so I'm deciding not to do them anymore. But there's a notable difference in some of the gentlemen when you have those things done. I was told that I looked like more of a lady if I had my lashes done, whether I wore makeup or not. I was more feminine, I was softer, you know, those kind of things actually come into play.
That's brutally honest for your ass.
What's Shut up, Joe. It can be, but like I said, I've had people say that I'm one of the most feminine people that they know, coming from men or women, because I like to feed my lovers. Okay, so they come home and they're like, oh my God, there's a meal on the table and this is made and like my laundry's folded. Like, what the hey now? And I mean, it's just the way I show love. You know what I'm saying? That's your
love language. That's the love language. We're gonna be talking about some love language when we come back on Monday. That's gonna be the topic of the night: love languages. And do we know the differences, and do we know our own love language? My love language is definitely a giving. I'm a giver. I love giving gifts out. I love doing this. I love doing that. But do you know what your love language is? And that's going to be Monday night's topic here in the Logic Room. We are going to go ahead and...
Just in case I miss it, I got another add to that. do you speak the same love language that, not speak, but do you accept love and give love the same way, right? So I might be acts of service that I show love, but do I need acts of service in order to feel loved? Because not everybody is the same. Not everybody is the same. Like, if you like to give gifts, how do you like to receive gifts? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Some people can't. Some people love to give, and they hate receiving.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Make sure you bring that up if
I sure will. But please subscribe to the YouTube live podcast. We have a live podcast now in the Logic Room, you guys. It just started December the 1st. So if you are not subscribed to that channel, please do so tonight or whenever you have a chance. And we will continue these deep conversations because they're getting really good. They're getting really spicy. And it is good to have men on the panel. We love having men on the panel because we get a different perspective than us women. Women most of the time have maybe I say 75% of the time we all agree to the same thing. But we also have women that don't agree to what we're talking about. So we like to have the other side come in and be able to be like, you know what? That makes sense. You know what I mean? So, Tampa Joe, thank you for being here this evening here in the Logic Room. Jazz, you are welcome to come back anytime, child. Thank you so much to Caroline and Crystal for being here this evening. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for pushing on the Logic Room. We will continue to have these conversations Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Station Time here with Taina Doll, Jess. And I want to thank you guys for supporting always and continue supporting because it's about to get real out here. But I thank you so much. God bless everybody. Hopefully everybody has an awesome weekend. Remember to subscribe to the channel, you guys, okay? God bless everybody. Love you guys. And have a good evening. Bye.
Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too, hon. Oh, that was good. Oh, God, that was awesome. Oh, 77 diamonds? What the hell? What the hell? Oh, my gosh. Esto está del colmo, chachi. This is freaking awesome, man. It's getting there, baby. It's getting there. Ooh. This is awesome. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. You guys here in the YouTube channel, thank you for being here this evening, you guys. For the 3 people that are in here, if you guys are still in here, thank you so much for being here and listening to the podcast. I know it's going back and forth, but we were just talking on the TikTok channel. But if you guys want to continue to subscribe, please share to the live to other people so they can subscribe to the Logic Room, and we can have more people chatting, and we can have more people talking about these different subjects that we need to be having, these deep conversations that are really needing to be done and had. So hopefully everybody has an awesome weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. Remember, you guys, we are still having our Christmas card exchange. So if you guys want a card from us, please drop your DM me your name and your address. It will only come to me, and mine is going to you guys. So hopefully you guys are going to have a great night. And I will see you guys on Monday. God bless everybody. And I will see you guys later. Taina Doll here, Jess, here in the Logic Room, you guys. Have a good night. Bye.